Good morning, Pansies. It's Tuesday. So where did you go? Trustworthy. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. So I thought about whether I should try to do some sort of like year-end thing, which of course I forgot to do at the appropriate time, which would have been my last video before the new year. But I'm terrible at stuff like that, which is why I, haven't done Noah's New Year's survey the last couple of times that we've done it. But what I did do in 2016 that I don't normally do is I kept track of all the books I read. I kept track of them in my own list, but I did end up putting them on Goodreads. One of the things that I don't like about Goodreads is that there's not really any way to indicate that you've read something before. I mean, there is a way, like in the edit thing where you put your review, there's like a field where you can indicate that you've read something more than once. But like there's a year-end thing that Goodreads does, so it automatically generates a page for you that says like how many books you've read in the year and how many pages that is and all of that kind of stuff. And it only marks the things that you have newly marked as read during that year. So I read like 110 books this year, apparently. But according to Goodreads, I only read 99 because some of those books I had read before, and there's no way to indicate that I reread them. And actually, I reread more books than that, but some of those that I had reread, I hadn't ever put into Goodreads before. I reread like 20 of the books out of the 110. I don't know if 110 is a lot of books for me or less than usual, because as I say, I don't normally count them. I did read a few books that I had really wanted to read, so that's good. I read a couple of books that Nella had recommended to me on Goodreads, or that she had mentioned here in the videos. Sort of by accident, I ended up reading most of the books written by Mary Roberts Rinehart. Not all of them. She wrote a lot of books, but I read a huge amount of them. I hadn't really intended to, work my way through her bibliography, but I just kind of ended up doing it because they were available. I also read an entire series that I didn't really enjoy. Why did I do that? I don't know. Because they were there. It's a series that my mom reads, and so they were here in the house, and I had never read them, so I just kind of read them. But I don't really enjoy the author's writing style that much, and I don't really like her main character, so I also read a bunch of Diana Wynne Jones, and I had never read anything by her before, and I really enjoyed the books of hers that I read, so that was much better. I read Anne-Maure Lindbergh's The Steep Ascent, which I hadn't read before, and I love Anne-Maure Lindbergh, so it was nice to read something new by her, or new to me. I read A Life of One's Own by Marion Milner, which is something that I had wanted to read for a long time, so I was excited to read that. I read an entire book about posture from, I think, the 40s, called Your Carriage, Madam, which, according to my Goodreads year-end thing, is the highest rated book I read this year. You wouldn't think a book about good posture would be really that interesting, but it actually was, and it was funny, so hang on. Oh no, well, that's what you get. Look at Oscar, how he has grown, isn't he cute? He weighs over 2 pounds now. He's grumpy because he just tried to climb up the inside of the blanket that's on my bed from the floor, and he got stuck and had to be rescued, so now he's mad. Anyway, so yeah, I read a bunch of books this year. Some of them were good, some of them were less good, but there were a lot of them. I would be interested in any year-end stuff that you guys have to talk about. So again, Happy New Year, and I will see you next week.